If you're watching this video, then chances are you're doing the splits wrong. But that's why I'm here, to show you how to do them right. Splits are a great achievement in flexibility and also a good skill to have in life. But unfortunately, there's a lot of ways you can mess it up and make it worse for yourself. And judging on how badly you mess up, the results could leave you discouraged, to make you take longer in your journey, or just straight up give up. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can help improve your middle split and maybe save you from injury or discouragement. Let's get right into it. The first mistake you may be making on your splits journey is not hinging your hips far enough. Now, this doesn't really affect me given how I've been stretching for about a year now, but for beginners, it could either cause you injury or just make you stop making progress. So the solution to this is to hinge your hips forward, basically arch your back and go forward and just sink deeper into it. Here's a view you could use from the side. See how my hips aren't hinged? I can't go down far enough because I can literally feel my femur connecting with my pelvis, which just stops me from going deeper. But when I hinge my hips and arch my back, it becomes a lot easier. Another way you could be doing the splits wrong is instead of keeping your knees and feet upward, you're keeping them to the side like this. Now, this won't really have an impact with how deep you go in the splits, but it leaves you at a much higher chance to get an injury. The ways you could get injured in this position is either your hips being impinged or your knee completely twisting. This is due to the awkward position in your split. Your feet are not supposed to be pointing forward when you're doing the splits because that puts your hips and legs at a very awkward position and it could spark a lot of pain if you're not careful. Yeah, but there isn't a lot of explanation to be done about this step. Just point your knees and toes upward while you do the splits. It'll save you a lot of pain. The third thing you might be doing wrong with the splits is not relaxing enough. Now, this sounds pretty basic, but you could be doing it subconsciously. Let me explain. When doing the splits, you're in a very awkward and painful position, which could lead to you involuntarily tensing up, which could lead to more stiffness in your muscle, thus reducing your chances for you to become more flexible and go deeper into your split. Now, this mistake isn't really injury prone, but if you become too tense while doing the splits, you might strain or tear a muscle, so it's better to just not take any chances, and even though you're in a lot of pain, still try to relax as much as you can. The fourth reason you may not be able to do splits is just simply because you're not flexible enough. Now, this may be hard for some people to hear, but most of the time there's no secret technique to be able to do the splits, no joint movement, none of that. You just need to be able to stretch more and become more flexible in order to do the splits. And the final reason you may not be able to do the splits, or what you're doing wrong with doing the splits, is that you're not warming up enough. And this one sort of correlates with the flexibility issues, but it's a little bit different in a couple of ways. Let me explain it. If you're unable to do the splits currently, and you just pop into it whenever you try doing it to train your flexibility, that could work, but it's pretty unsafe. The reason that it's unsafe is because just popping into a split position without actually being able to do the splits or without warming up properly could lead you to eventually injuring your hamstring or your hips. Now, it may seem redundant to warm up to do a stretch, given how the stretch could normally be the warm up, but with the splits, it's pretty different. The splits is a very difficult thing for most people to do, and if you don't warm up your joints and muscles properly for it, then you could get easily injured. I was a victim of this. I didn't warm up properly, and I pushed myself too far, and I ended up straining my hamstring 4 times. Originally, I was able to get the splits in just a month, but because I wasn't careful and impatient, I ended up having to wait 3 months to be able to actually do the splits. So don't make the mistake I did. Get a proper warm-up routine, stretch carefully, and you'll be able to do the splits in no time. And that's the 5 tips I have to improve your middle splits. Now, some of you may already be close to finishing your journey, but that doesn't mean that you're certain to not get injured or make any mistakes. So please be careful, use these tips to their fullest potential, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.